Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a special Fright Night Friday movie review. Today we'll be talking about kind of a prequel slash sidequel to The Conjuring, namely that story about everyone's favorite demonically possessed doll, Annabelle. Today, on Fright Night Friday, on the Multimedia Chronicles. Now, a couple of Halloweens ago, actually, thanks to some recommendations from you fine folks, I checked out The Conjuring and was not disappointed. That was one hella scary haunted house movie. I can't wait to check out the second one. Definitely gonna pick that up on Blu-ray. Pick that out up on Blu-ray when it comes out on Blu-ray. Yes. Anyway, one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting about it was the story of Annabelle, the possessed doll, and such. So when I heard that they were doing a movie based on Annabelle, I was, hey, awesome, cool. I'd love to see the story in full. Now, that said, going into it, I was expecting to see the story of the two young girls as it was being recounted at the beginning of The Conjuring. So I thought we were going to see like the full story of that, of what happened there. But nope, apparently not. They decided to go in a slightly different direction with it. In this case, they're basically trying to give more of a backstory as to how the doll became possessed and the nature of the evil and things like that. So it's goes in some different directions. Now, is that good? Is that bad? Honestly, it's kind of either or, depending how you're looking at it. Now, if you're going into Annabelle expectorating The Conjuring 1.5 or 2.5, you're probably going to be disappointed because tonally it's very different from The Conjuring. Also, if you're going to Annabelle expecting it to be Chucky but a chick, yeah, you're going to be disappointed there too, because that's not the kind of movie this is. This is a much more subtle, much more low-key kind of horror movie. If you're expecting to see the doll running around killing people, yeah, no, this isn't a Chucky movie. No, the whole thing about Annabelle in the original recountances was that she would move around, but people would never actually see her move around. Like, they just kind of find her in different locations or in different positions of their house and things like that. And that's how it's played out in this, where we have instances where the doll is seen in different places. There's a scene where she's in a rocking chair. She's like placed in a rocking chair by the mother, and the mother leaves, and the chair is just rocking from pushing her into the chair. But long after she leaves, the camera lingers, and the chair just keeps rocking and keeps rocking and keeps rocking. So it's like, okay, it should have stopped rocking by now. So there's just a lot of little subtle moments like that. And yeah, so I thought it was kind of a cool idea that they went in that direction. Now, that said, I actually thought they went a little bit over the top as far as the origin story goes, because in the original story, the whole concept was that Annabelle was, I guess they contacted her through a medium, and Annabelle had claimed that she was inhabited by the spirit of a little girl named Annabelle Higgins that had been killed in an automobile accident. And there was such a girl that lived in that neighborhood at one point and was killed in an automobile accident. However, the whole kind of thing that's strange about that is they said God does not allow the spirit of a child to take possession of something or someone. Therefore, it was a demon pretending to be that little girl. It was some kind of evil force. Now, in the movie, here, it's a little bit different. The doll is given to a pregnant wife as a gift from her husband, and there's some kind of weird murder goes on next door. and then they find these intruders in their house. It's like a guy, a man and a woman. The woman has the doll. It's like, I like your doll. It's like really creepy, chilling scene, and it turns out that these are like a couple of cultists in just doing some kind of sacrifice thing, I guess. I don't know. They're just weird cultists. Anyway, the two cultists end up getting killed before they can kill the husband and wife. Thank goodness, because that'd be a pretty short movie otherwise, considering they're the protagonists of the story. And as the woman is dying, a single drop of blood trickles down and lands on the doll. And then what the idea is that her spirit, as she was dying, inhabited the doll. So not a demon, not a little girl, but some whacked out cultist. I don't know. I kind of liked the demon masquerading as a little girl idea better, to be honest. I think that's scarier than just some crazy cult person. But hey, whatever. That's the direction they went in. Another big difference is, of course, the appearance of the doll. The real Annabelle was actually just a ginormous Raggedy Ann doll. But, of course, in the movie, she's a creepy porcelain doll. In fact, when the husband first presents the doll to the wife is a bit of a doll collector, so she's got like this set that she's working on, and Annabelle is one of the last pieces of the set that she needs. She's been looking for it for a long time. And look at this. This is pre-possession Annabelle. Yeah. Totally doesn't look like pure evil at all. Uh-huh. Nice try, guys. I'm sorry, but that design will always, forever be not creepy. No matter how you decide to paint it. So the main thing really is to see, how when the doll is possessed, what it does, like what it does to the couple and anybody who comes in contact with it. Yeah, in this case, it's not so much a demon masquerading as the little girl, but it's the demon, I guess, that these cultists worshipped. They were in the cult of the ram, and it's this horned demon, like quite very, what you would expect a powerful demon to look like. I mean, he's very, very much the standard demon appearance, hooved and horned and scary as hell. And so it's this demon that's in the doll and trying to take possession of their child and take their child. So their child is just a baby at this point. So the demon is trying to get the child and possess the child to take over. And so it's there to collect a soul, and it wants the soul of the child. And unless it can get another soul in exchange. So it's pretty messed up. There's one scene in particular that really stands out and was almost Conjuring level scary. And it's when the mother is investigating. She keeps seeing these visions of her baby being taken away and stuff like that. So there's this one in particular where she ends up down in the basement of her building, and there's like a pram down there, and she goes to investigate it, and then the demon appears, like the actual demon just full blown appears in the corridor, like, and she runs back to the elevator, and she sees the demon just staring right at her, and like just very slowly advancing down the corridor, getting closer and closer. And meanwhile, she keeps hitting the elevator. The doors close, and then the doors just open again, and it's the basement again. And then she hits it again. The doors close. It feels like the elevator's moving. The doors open. It's the basement again. Every time the demon's a little bit closer. But that was to me, that was one of the big standout scenes of the movie right there. That was just scary as hell. That was really good. I liked that moment a lot. And there's other moments. There's another moment where she's looking under the door, and she hears something. She thinks the doll is up to something, and then suddenly she just sees Annabelle fall right in front of the door, and it's like she's like looking at her from under the door, and that was a good boo moment as well. Yeah, overall, I mean it's interesting to me because this is one of the few cases I can think of where a horror series has spawned a spin-off that has become its own horror series. I mean, you can watch just the Conjuring movies or just the Annabelle movies, or you can watch both of them as part of a larger story within the same, cinematic universe, basically. And we don't see that with horror movies very often. We really don't. So it's pretty cool to me that we have a spin-off that has become its own series, because there's an Annabelle 2 coming out. And yeah, and the way this one ends, to me, suggested that it was going to tell the story that we were waiting for in the second one. But no, it looks like they're going to go in a different direction yet again in the second one. So I'm wondering, is the third one going to be that story then? The one about the two young girls who get, one... It was basically the mother bought the doll in an antique shop as a gift for her student daughter, and her daughter and her friend just started experiencing strange things almost as soon as the doll showed up. And well, if you've seen The Conjuring, you know how that story plays out basically. But I want to see a movie of that story. I want to see, give me all the details of that. I want to see how that plays out. So yeah. So I mean, as far as the story of this goes, in relation to the real story, it's pretty far from the real story. I mean, the real story is basically the one about the students, and that's pretty much it. And there had only been about a year of activity before the Warrens became involved. So, yeah, I mean, this movie series implies that it went on for much longer, and the doll went through many more owners before finally ending up in the Warrens Museum. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it plays. I mean, I'll definitely tune in. I mean, I like the concept, and if they want to take that concept and do, a few more stories with the doll, then sure, why not? I'm there. Count me in. But yeah, so I mean, I liked Annabelle. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good. It had some good spooky moments. It had a pretty powerful ending. And I look forward to the second one. And I'm also really looking forward to the second Conjuring, which I've heard is also quite scary. What the fuck was that? Did you hear a squeak just there? Oh. Noisy neighbors. Great timing. Right when I'm talking about horror movies. Alrighty, that is it for this review. Hope you enjoyed. So I'll see you next time. Quick thank you to my Patreon sponsors, especially Kyle Pellegrini and Get Your Gorgeous On, the always delightful e-mag maintained by Michelle O'Toole and Simon Hedger. Thanks very much for the support, guys. And we'll see you next time. So until then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.